My name is Sonia Huntley, and I serve as ULI's Senior Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Recent calls for racial justice throughout the United States strengthened our resolve and accelerated our efforts to promote DEI as a fundamental force to shape the future of the built environment. ULI must lead on understanding the history of racist policies in real estate. This is accomplished by educating our members on this history, developing evidence-based solutions for addressing and potentially undoing the structural barriers that perpetuate inequities, and by convening conversations with change makers about their work to overcome structural racism in the industry. In 2020, our members and staff worked to develop a comprehensive diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy for ULI. We have outlined the vision for our DEI strategy, and it is twofold. First, we want to create and promote a welcoming, diverse commercial real estate industry with representation in leadership and staff that reflects the communities we serve. Also, we want to dismantle structural racism in the industry through education and programs of work, leading the way to creating more equitable communities by design. Our strategy is shaped around three foundational elements that will create change at ULI and in the commercial real estate industry. Those are diversify ULI and commercial real estate. We will accomplish this by accelerating representation of underrepresented individuals to better reflect the communities we serve. These inclusive communities are defined as Black, Indigenous, and people of color, or the BIPOC community, gender, inclusive of our Women's Leadership Initiative, and LGBTQ+. Our goal is that increased representation of these communities will be reflected in ULI's membership and ULI's member leadership. Also, our objective is to address equity and systemic racism through our programs of work by creating best practices for the development of diverse, equitable, and inclusive communities. And our goal is also to promote a culture of inclusion by celebrating cultural differences, providing training and learning opportunities, and fully assessing our policies and procedures to create an inclusive environment. The circular representation of the strategy reflects that each of these elements is critical in advancing our work, and that one is not more important than another. Here, you will notice our graphical mark for DEI and the area of focus contained in our strategy. These areas represent the ways in which we will accomplish our three overarching goals. These are our pathways to accomplishment and include engagement, programs of work, education, communications, partnerships, and inclusive culture. Here, you see the big picture goal, diversify ULI and commercial real estate, aligned with Phase 1 actions, which map to the areas of focus, again, the pathways to accomplishment for the larger goal. It is important to note that the actions contained here do not represent an exhaustive list. DEI is an organizational priority, and as such, we are allowing flexibility to respond to opportunities that may arise that result in mission impact and strategic goal accomplishment. Examples to expand and diversify membership include our continued partnerships with Project REAP to offer the ULI REAP Academy. Also, we are exploring new partnership opportunities such as with the NAACP. An example to diversify our member leadership is in the composition of our incoming class of global governing trustees. Our centers have focused on racial and social equity in our programs of work for a while. Examples of recent activities include the 2021 Housing Conference in March, the release of 10 principles for enhancing equitable access to parks, and plans are underway to produce 10 principles for enhancing social equity in real estate. To address diversity efforts in our staff and staff leadership, we have partnered with a global consultancy to commence work on an internal audit of our HR policies and practices to ensure we are breaking down barriers and biases that might unknowingly be in place. Ensuring ULI is a healthy and progressive organization is critical to creating a culture of inclusion. We believe diversity, equity, and inclusion must be woven into all that ULI does. I like to say, DEI should simply be in our DNA. To realize this, our business plans for each of our networks and programs of work in the Americas include DEI as an area of focus. Consequently, much work is already underway by our district councils, national councils, centers, ULI Learning, Urban Plan, and advisory services. I invite you to join us by providing your insights on our efforts. Email us at dei@uli.org. We welcome you to engage more fully in ULI's drive to lead change in the industry. Or to simply learn more about DEI at ULI, please visit our website at americas.uli.org/DEI. While there, visit our DEI community, a place where members and ULI staff post information, ask questions, and discuss key DEI-related topics of interest. Thank you for your continued support of ULI's mission and our DEI efforts. While there is much work ahead, we are encouraged by how our collective efforts will facilitate change in the industry.